born a powerful Force-sensitive Shi'Edu shapeshifter who often appeared as a human woman. Belia Darzu trained in the dark side as a dual-wielding Sith marauder, using her rage to deal high damage on the front lines of combat. Wearing a great battlesuit while specializing in Force alchemy and sorcery, Belia rose to become Dark Lady of the Sith Order, ruling from her fortress on the planet Tython from 1250 to 1230 BBY. Among her greatest feats was the discovery of Mekuderu, a dark side method of combining organic flesh with technology to create Sith-spawned techno-beasts capable of spreading nanogene droids, which transformed enemies into more of their kind. Belia's Medane Crone army was so formidable, she continued the millennia-long New Sith Wars by launching the Sictus Wars against the Republican Jedi, winning battle after battle until they at last defeated their ancient enemies. Yet Belia Darzu did not live long enough to celebrate her victory, as she was betrayed and poisoned by her underlings, working in concert with the Macrosa Order, a coven of darkside assassins from the world Ubalet that was allied with the Sith, until Belia violated their space during the war. As Belia had no heirs or known apprentices, the remaining Sith Lords immediately squandered their hard-fought victory by fighting with each other for supremacy. While Belia could no longer produce techno-beasts, those already in existence were quickly seized by ambitious Sith Lords, who used them against their enemies. This period proved so devastating that it left both the Sith and Republic in a state of disarray, which continued into the last century of the New Sith Wars, known as the Republic Dark Age. A powerful Dark Lord of great accomplishments, Darzu's legacy was preserved and spread by Darth Bane, who visited Tython in 990 BBY, where he destroyed an army of techno-beasts to reach the tomb of the ancient Sith in order to find the holocron containing her teachings and philosophy. Though Bane was most interested in learning how to craft his own holocron, the totality of her knowledge was considered a valuable resource by future darkside acolytes like Chronal and Roganda Ismarin, who studied her teachings when they served under the Dark Lord Palpatine. Chronal then went on to use Mekuderu against Luke Skywalker's cybernetic hand, transforming it into a living being, yet to his surprise, it did not attack Luke, and instead killed Chronal before the Jedi cut it down. Partway through the Republic Dark Age, in 1066 BBY, the Sith Order was once again resurgent under the Dark Lady Vilia Calimondra, a widower several times over who acquired vast territories in the Grumani sector through her marriages, which she used to build a great empire. Ruling with ruthless cunning, she sought to ensure the future of the Sith Order remained within her family's lineage, and so trained her 7 children in the dark side before sharpening their skills in the traditional Sith fashion by having them compete and scheme against each other. Declaring a charge matrica to determine which of her children would inherit the empire, the victor would be the one who expanded their holdings the furthest. Inevitably, the contest led her ambitious children to turn against each other in a full-scale civil war that left all dead save for her son Shagras, who was declared the victor, named heir, and given operational control of the empire, which he renamed the Shagras Hegemony. Vilia allowed this, as she now had a figurehead to shield her from enemies, while still reigning from the shadows. Shagras, meanwhile, maintained peace through a network of alliances with cousins, nieces, and nephews, growing his strength until 1042, when he went to war with the Old Republic. Yet just 2 years into the conflict, Shagras was assassinated with a nerve toxin, leading Vilia to hold a second charge matrica, this time pitting her grandchildren against each other. Sending them to conquer new territories like the Bactronate, Arcadia, the eldest daughter of Shagras, started working against her grandmother, claiming to believe Vilia killed her father. Yet when Arcadia started to scheme, she confided in an untrustworthy spy who revealed the information to her grandmother. Denying the assassination of her son, Vilia claimed Arcadia was in fact the more likely culprit, and was seeking to deflect blame, pointing to the fact she was an expert with nerve toxins. Vilia then arranged for an attack against her granddaughter's capital world, foiling Arcadia's plans as she had to drop everything and return home. Continuing with the charge matrica, Vilia was warned that a rogue Jedi, Kara Holt, was loose in Sith space, yet the Dark Lady chose to do nothing, as dealing with this lightsider would give her grandchildren good experience for their next invasion of the Republic. Yet all her plans came to a halt when her grandson, Odion, attempted to use a powerful, ancient dark side relic called the Helm of Ieldis to destroy all life in the galaxy save himself. The helm worked by amplifying dark side emotions to send living beings into a murderous rampage. Taking the helm to Vanaheim, a moon under his control, Odion sought to use the Cloister, where he trained orphans to be slaves as a source of pain, which he could then amplify to wipe out all life in the galaxy. Understanding the threat he posed, Vilia contacted her relatives, including Arcadia, asking them to put aside their differences and unite to oppose Odeon, as no one should seek to be king of a graveyard. Despite the opposition closing in around him, Odeon turned on the helm, causing the entire Grumani sector, including many Force sensitives, to be affected. Yet before he could do too much damage, Odeon was defeated and killed by the Jedi Kara Holt, working with his second-in-command, General Beld Yulin, who turned against his Mad Master. With Odeon dead, his territories were divided amongst the Calimondra family, and Vilia continued her rule over the Empire. Reigning over 400 years after the death of Darth Bane, Darth Gravid was a powerful Force-sensitive human male who inherited and built upon a vast collection of Sith books, scrolls, and artifacts, containing the collective knowledge of his order preserved over many generations. In keeping with the rule of two established by Bane, Gravid took on the Twi'lek female Darth Gean as his apprentice, and built a great fortress on the world Jaguada, only to start changing his outlook in later life, feeling drawn to the light side, and even altering his philosophies to include compassion and altruism. Possibly going mad, he took these beliefs to an extreme by casting a great force shield over his home to keep others out while he destroyed the entire collection of Sith knowledge, believing it was the only way he could ensure his philosophies were passed down to future generations. Learning what he was doing, Darth Gean sought to save the collection and infiltrated the fortress to battle Darth Gravid. Though she sustained serious wounds and lost an arm that was later replaced with a prosthetic, Darth Gean was victorious and saved some part of the Sith collection, though much of it was already lost, greatly setting back their order's overall goal of growing strong enough to defeat the Jedi and Republic. Remembered as a traitor who nearly destroyed a millennia-long campaign towards victory, Gravid represented everything future Sith hated, and was used as an example of weakness and failure. Oppositely, Darth Gean was remembered fondly, as she picked up the pieces of their order and kept it on the right track by taking an apprentice of her own to continue the Baneite line, used as an example of courage, success, and perseverance in the face of great adversity. A special thanks to all those who contribute to Civilization X, like Tim, Sir Joe, Wartfoot of the North, The Drunken Master, and Sir Loin, Werebear of the Great North. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/civilizationx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.